مساحة حولين دف P ألف عمود ألف 10 lines and Amara Mamnuna. Omer היה Rabbi Shimon used to say, אין אותו ואת בנו נוהג בקודשים. The halacha of the child and mother being slaughtered on the same day does not apply to kochim. My ta'ama, why? كيفن دعم Rabbi Shimon shahita she'in ru'ya lashma shahita. Since Rabbi Shimon said that if the slaughter did not make the animal eligible for being eaten, it does not make it, it's not considered shahid. Shahita shekashim nami shahita she'in ru'ya, therefore slaughter of kochim also doesn't allow it to be eaten, it's for a korban, not for you. Now the question is, Mativ Rav has a question. Right, that says, Otov et benok bekodashim ba'oz. If an animal and a child were slaughtered the same day, both of them were kochim. Both of them were slaughtered outside the Hatzer, which is not the right place. Rabbi Shimon says, Shenei ve'lotas. The second one's the lotas. It's a negative commandment because he's slaughtered outside. Rabbi Shimon say, anything that's eligible to come but at the wrong time. It's a lotas. Ve'im bo karet, no karet. I'm saying no. או שאין בו כרת, אין לו לא תעשה. There's no כרת, no לא תעשה. וכאן שלנו, we asked about the ברייתא, קודשים בערוץ שני לא תעשה. Why would Rabbi Shimon say the second one's the only לא תעשה with no כרת? כמה מקטלקתה, the first animal, which was slaughtered at the wrong location, is pasul. Therefore, that was basically killed, with no shechita considered. שני מקבל בפנימו, but the second one, that was done inside, should be considered the first one. כרת נמי לחייב, therefore should be חייב כרת. V'amar Rava said over there, V'amar lekedi, hasurim missing word, explain it as follows. Kochim shnei mahot, if a case of kochim and both of them are outside, let Rabbanan according to Hamim, Rishon anosh karet. Because the first one, because it is considered a good shahita, the first one gets karet, and the sheni pasul, the second one's pasul. Because of the child and mother. Ubatum milav shleichut, also pasul from the outside. Because that was slaughtered outside. Rabbi Shimon says that it's not considered a good shechita. Shneim anushim karet, they both get karet. Ehad ba'achutz ve'ehad b'fnim, one outside and one inside. And we're not according to okay, both get karet. Sorry, pause. Next case is ehad ba'achutz ve'ehad, one inside, one outside. And we're not according to Hamim, Rishon anush karet. The first one gets karet, shneim pasul batur, the second one pasul, and you don't get malkut. It's patur, sorry, from slaughtering outside. You only get chayav of mother and child. Shani kasher, the second animal is kasher. The first one was inside, and the second one outside. The first one's kasher and no violation. Shani pasul patur. The second one's pasul because it's child, but patur because it was outside. The Rishon according to the Rishon, Shani Lota said the Rishon hold. The second one is a Lota said. So now we brought all that just to say the is halka da'ata, and if you want to say eno tova benon that mother and child is not applied to kochim. Shani amad lo ta'aseh. Why is it only Lota said? وكارت نعمل ده حياة بيشبه حياة كارت. Meaning if the slaughter of kochim is considered pasul, because you can't eat it, then the first animal was not shechita. It must be that it was, and the second animal is able to be brought. So how come there's no karet by the second animal? Amar Rava says no. Hachi ka'amar Rav Huna says is trying to say the following. En malkut otov et beno the malkut for the mother and child does not apply to koshim. Kevin, the common blows are dam dam because if we don't throw the blood, then there's no karet. The meat does not make a mutar. Because when he's slaughtering and have a it's considered like uh, it's a questionable warning, right? So in general, we need a warning to make someone hayav. So but if you have a questionable warning, meaning if another factor will happen to make you hayav, to quote mahloket, whether or not that's sufficient enough to make you hayav. But adra safek lashma hadran, he holds that a questionable safek is not a good warning. L'azar about the matter about one reason. Namar says he holin ubna shlamim. If the animal is holin, non-kodesh, and the child is a korban shlamim, and you saw it on the same day. Shahat Halim Ba'achar Shahat Ba'ashlan. If he's first Lord the Cholin and Lord the Shamim, Patur Patur. Shamim Ba'achar Cholin is Lord Shamim and the Cholin. Chayav Ya Chayav. Right? Because we don't know the first part case you're Patur because you don't know if you're going to slaughter the child. And the second case you're Chayav because you did it. Umar says, He Cholin Bana Ola. If the first animal is Cholin and the second one's Korban Allah and you slaughter the same day, Lami Ba'i Shahat Cholin Ba'achar Shahat Allah Patur. For sure, if you slaughtered the cholin and then the korban animal you're patur because it wasn't a good, it wasn't for sure going to happen. لا أفيدو شحات علا بأكل عشان إحنا اليمين يستورد علا then you through the Hullin patur patur. Shida كمية الله shida بات أخيلا because the first one was not for consumption. It's for the mizbeach. The Gemara says, "Rabbi Yaakov asar rahman achel mizbeach shema achila." One second, we know the Torah calls eating of the mizbeach considered consumption. My time why? Because the Makrapa says the imha achol yachel mi bezar zerach shalav. The Torah mentions two types of eating. Ahad hadam one by person, ahad yichlad mizbeach one by mizbeach. Okay, no Mishnah. Had Rabbi ben Imsat Refav, someone stores the animal and he found that it was tarif. أحد الغني يصور the animal for Abdul Zara. بعد شوية البراد أحد يصور the parad ما. Vishor in his color, an animal that was sentenced to be stoned for let's say for sodomy. Megla Arufa, the animal that was for the Egla Arufa, right? The person died between two cities, you don't know who killed him. The closest city has to bring a decapitated calf. That calf, before it's killed, is also Asur Bahana. All these things are Asur. Rabbi Shimon Patur, Rabbi Shimon Patur, if you kill the child as well. Ashachayv meant develop if someone slaughtered the animal, then it became a nevela. He did the shechita wrong. Or he also messed up the shechita by tearing or piercing the pipes. Then you slaughter the parent or the child after that. Patur mishum motova beno because since it was not a crushed shechita, here patur. The only time we said, he says in the Mishnah where you slaughtered one animal for Avodah Zarah, he says if the first case was the first animal was Avodah Zarah and the second one was for yourself, or if that's where Yachayav Malkut. But if you slaughter the first one for your house and the second for Avodah Zarah, you're patur. They keep Neviram because Yachayav Mita already for the Avodah Zarah. Therefore, you don't get Malkut. You get the bigger punishment. Amal Rabbi Yochanan says, whoa, hold up. Everybody knows this idea from Masechet and Sanhedrin, Masechet Makot. Rabbi Chayav with two Avodot, you only get the bigger one. So what's the Hidush? Ella, you want to think Hidush? פעמים שאפילו שאחד הראשון לשולחנו ושני עבודת מזרע חייב. Even it could be because even in a case where you slaughtered the first animal for your house, the second animal for the Zeraya Chayav Malkut. كيقول ده عتروبة مشون مطلب it will be a case where you were warned about the mother and child. ולא יתרוبة مشون Zerah, but you're not warned about Zerah. Since he's not getting mita, he does not get Malkut. He does get Malkut. Rabbi Shimon Lakishamari says no. كيمن دخي عتروبة patur, كي لا عتروبة نامي patur. If he says it's not how it works. If it was a avera that he would have been warned, he would have gotten mita. Then if he's not warned, he still does not get mita. He still does not get malkut. So yes, he wasn't warned for the avodah zarah, but that does not stop the cumulative b'drabbanan. If he did a sin that's technically eligible for mita for that, he still is patur from the malkut. They both go according to their own reasoning we see elsewhere. If someone does an avera, that would be Hayab Mita if he did it on purpose. Let's say he did it by mistake though. The Hayab Malkut Shogin, or if he did an Avirah that you get Malkut for, but he did it by accident, and then at the same time he did something else. So that is Yochanan says Hayav, Yachayav for the less penalty. Rish Lakish Amar Patur, Rish Lakish Patur. Yochanan says Hayav, the other because you didn't warrant. Rish Lakish Amar Patur, Rish Lakish Patur, because he said before that if he would have been warned in Patur, so even if he's not warned, he's still Patur. Why do you need the same machloket twice? I mentioned this case of our Mishnah regarding Shechita. Maybe over here, Rabbi Shimon Lakish would say that there's no mita, you're patur from the malkut. In the second case, where it's money or malkut or money or death, that is not patur. I mentioned in our case with money, in the case of malkut / karet and death, that there is no malkut, therefore you need malkut twice. One second, you said it before, if you slaughter the paraduma, it's not considered fit for shechita. The Gemara says why? But it says the slaughtered paraduma can bring tuma like food. Because at one point it was eligible for the slaughter of food. And therefore, even though you can't get benefit now, you still considered it food regarding benefit because at one point it was. Amar Shimon Lakishi also says, Rabbi Shimon says, Parad can be redeemed even if it was slaughtered already, meaning it's always eligible for consumption. That was the time of eligible for consumption is that it's always able to be redeemed. So why would say it's not good shechita? Gemara says, Rav Shimon Bar Abba Yochanan, Parad Hatat Enam Mishnah. Our Mishnah that mentioned Parad made a mistake. You have to delete it. I'll find that in